Welcome to Basket Quality, your go-to spot for all things basketball. Today, we're diving into a heated topic that's been stirring up a lot of conversation. Caitlin Clark's recent salary contract with the Indiana Fever, and the broader issue of the gender pay gap in professional sports. But before we get into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and slam that like button, as if you're dunking on the pros. The gender pay gap is a persistent issue that transcends industries, but it's particularly glaring in sports. Despite the rising popularity and viewership of women's sports, the wage disparity remains stark. Take, for instance, Caitlin Clark, a phenomenal talent in the WNBA who signed a deal that pays her $338,056 over 4 years. Compare this to the $55 million over 4 years secured by last year's NBA #1 draft pick, and the contrast couldn't be more dramatic. This disparity has sparked widespread discussion and outrage, prompting a call to action for equality in sports. Stay tuned as we unpack these issues and more. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our in-depth analyses, early news updates, and high-quality content right here at Basket Quality. Let's get started. College basketball phenom Caitlin Clark has shattered records and captivated fans nationwide. As the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball history, her transition to the WNBA has been highly anticipated. Recently drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever, Clark's rookie contract starkly highlights the ongoing issue of pay disparity in professional sports. According to the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement, she will earn $338,056 over 4 years. During her standout career at the University of Iowa, Clark dazzled fans with her scoring prowess, peaking during the 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament National Championship against the South Carolina Gamecocks on April 7, 2024 in Cleveland. Despite her star status, her initial WNBA salary is a stark reminder of the financial differences between male and female professional athletes. Under the 2024 WNBA rookie scale for the top 4 draft picks, Clark's salary is set at $76,535 for her first year, escalating to $78,066 in her second, $85,873 in her third, and an option year at $97,582. The salary structure is consistent across the board for the top WNBA draft picks, including Cameron Brink from Stanford to the Los Angeles Sparks, Camila Cardoso from South Carolina to the Chicago Sky, and Rickea Jackson from Tennessee, also joining the Sparks. The financial contrast with their NBA counterparts, who earn millions right out of the gate, underlines the broader debate about equality and fairness in sports compensation. For comparison, Victor Wembanyama, last year's NBA Draft #1 rookie star for the San Antonio Spurs, entered the league with a lucrative contract that highlights the stark differences in pay between male and female athletes. Wembanyama's 4-year contract is worth $55 million, with a substantial $12.1 million slated for his first season alone, according to athlete contract tracker SportTrack. This high level of compensation is consistent with other NBA rookies and contrasts sharply with the financial arrangements for athletes in the WNBA. Meanwhile, some pointed out that Clark is likely to make even more, not from the team salary, but simply because she signed various sponsorship deals. Caitlin Clark, the striking Iowa player newly drafted #1 by Indiana in the WNBA, is close to securing a sponsorship deal with Nike for the production of an exclusive shoe, ensuring her an 8-figure contract around $10 million, as reported by The Athletic's Shams Charania. As reported by The Athletic, Nike won the bidding war against Adidas and Under Armour to add Clark to its roster, highlighting her marketability and appeal. Despite her on-court success and lucrative endorsement opportunities with major brands like Nike, State Farm, Gatorade, Buick, H&R Block, and Bose, Clark's WNBA salary remains modest in comparison. Co-host Jenna Bush Hager pointed out the stark wage disparity between Clark's WNBA salary and the earnings of other professions such as nurses, teachers, and police officers. This stark pay difference underscores the broader issue of wage equality in professional sports and the need for change. Clark's significant fan base and influence make her a valuable investment for brands like Nike, which views her as one of the league's top shoe endorsers. Nevertheless, the contrast between her potential earnings from sponsorships and her WNBA salary highlights the ongoing conversation about wage equality and fairness in women's sports. Caitlin Clark's popularity has brought a surge in WNBA game attendance, with tickets selling out and audience numbers rising significantly. This growth has fueled conversations about the disparity in pay between male and female athletes. The public outcry over the pay gap became so loud that President Joe Biden addressed the issue on X, formerly Twitter, stating, "Women in sports continue to reach new heights and inspire us all. But right now, we're seeing that, even if you're the best, women aren't being paid what they're due. It's time we give our daughters the same opportunities as our sons and ensure that women are paid what they deserve." Other notable figures in sports have also spoken out against the wage disparity. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson expressed his support for women in sports on X, sharing that female athletes deserve so much more and praying for the day when they receive equal compensation. Lisa Ling added her voice to the conversation, highlighting the pay gap by comparing Steph Curry's per-game earnings to Clark's salary over 4 years. She pointed out the impact of sports and travel on women's bodies, questioning whether their current compensation is even a decent wage. The fight for fairer pay in women's basketball has been ongoing. WNBA legend Lisa Leslie voiced her opinion on an episode of The Shop on Uninterrupted, discussing the significant differences in salaries between male and female athletes. Leslie noted that an NBA player earning around $12 million could cover the entire WNBA's salary budget, underscoring the stark contrast in compensation. These perspectives and the growing popularity of the WNBA signal a potential shift toward greater pay equity in women's basketball. Advocates are hopeful that continued attention to this issue will lead to meaningful change and ensure that female athletes are compensated fairly for their contributions to the sport. The wage gap between Caitlin Clark and NBA players has indeed sparked outrage and reignited the debate on gender equality in sports. Many believe that WNBA players deserve equal treatment in terms of compensation, especially considering their talent and dedication to the game. This inequity not only affects players' finances, but also perpetuates broader societal issues regarding the value of women's sports. It's important for sports organizations, sponsors, and fans to take concrete actions to address this inequality. By promoting a culture of equity and appreciation for women's sports, we can help ensure that female athletes receive fair compensation for their hard work and achievements. This can include initiatives such as increased investment in women's sports, better media coverage, and the creation of more lucrative sponsorship opportunities. The growing popularity of the WNBA and players like Caitlin Clark presents a prime opportunity for change. As more attention is brought to these disparities, the hope is that this will lead to meaningful progress and the establishment of a more level playing field for all athletes. So, as this video is coming to an end, it's clear that the wage gap between Caitlin Clark and the WNBA and NBA players is more than just a financial concern. It represents a systemic inequality in professional sports. This disparity points to a need for sports leagues and society to truly value the significant contributions of female athletes. Achieving this requires equalizing compensation opportunities and addressing disparities in resources, investment, and support for women's sports at all levels. Thank you for joining the conversation today. If you found this discussion enlightening, remember to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and advocate for a more equitable future in sports.